Okay, so if you're living in Puyallup or maybe somewhere nearby like Bonney Lake or Tacoma, do you ever just look around and see stuff? You know, unwanted things cluttering up your space.
Uh-huh. That old couch, maybe? That's seen better days.
Exactly. Or like the fridge humming away pointlessly in the garage, or maybe even that hot tub out back you haven't touched in years.
Yeah, it's a really common thing, that feeling of being overwhelmed by clutter. And, well, that's kind of where we're focusing today.
We are. We're taking a look at a local service called Rapid Haul Away. They're based right there in Puyallup, Washington.
And what caught our eye, really, is how they seem to offer a professional way to deal with all that junk, but without it costing an arm and a leg.
Right. We've been looking into what they actually do, and it's pretty broad. They seem to take almost anything you can think of.
Like furniture, appliances.
Yeah, old furniture, broken appliances, even piles of yard waste after a big cleanup. They mention hot tubs, too, which are notoriously hard to get rid of.
Hmm. The only real exception seems to be hazardous materials, which makes sense. Standard stuff.
And they cover a decent area, too, not just Puyallup itself. It's basically North Pierce County.
Yeah, the list we saw included places like Bonney Lake, Prairie Ridge, Sumner, Summit, Waller, Midland,
Fife, Milton, Edgewood, Lakeland South, Federal Way.
Tacoma, Parkland, Spanaway, too. So quite a few communities. If you're in that zone, they're likely an option.
So our mission here, what we want to figure out for you, is how Rapid Haulaway actually makes getting rid of junk easier, and maybe more importantly, how using them could actually save you some money.
Okay, so where should we start? Speed seems like a big thing for them.
It does. They talk about getting things done quickly and working around your schedule.
And the quoting process sounds interesting. They actually advertise lightning-fast quotes just by texting them a picture.
Yeah, you text a photo of what you want, go onto their number. It's 253-820-6311.
Wow, okay. So instead of waiting for someone to come out, measure things up.
Right, you just snap a pic, send it off, and get a quick idea of the cost. That seems like a real time saver.
Definitely. And they also mentioned fast, flexible scheduling. Plus, you can book online, apparently, and get a 10% discount doing it that way.
Think about when that speed really matters, you know? Like if you're trying to sell your house and need to declutter now.
Or you're moving, trying to shed some weight, literally, before you pack everything up. Less stuff to move costs less money.
Exactly. So that speed and convenience, it's not just nice to have, it translates into, well, saving your own time and hassle.
It has real value. Okay, let's talk about the cost itself. They're pretty bold about it.
They are. They directly claim to have the best prices in the area.
That's a strong statement. How do they back that up?
Well, they offer free quotes, no pressure involved, based on what you actually need removed. You can call or use an online form for that.
Okay, tailored quotes. And crucially, they stress clear pricing up front.
Yes. No hidden fees. That's something everyone worries about, isn't it? Getting hit with unexpected charges later on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That transparency is a big deal for budgeting. Knowing the cost up front helps you plan and, frankly, saves you money by avoiding those nasty surprises.
So let's dig into some specific situations where a service like this might be useful and how it connects back to saving money for you, like home cleanouts.
Right, big ones. Clearing out a whole house, maybe a basement that's packed solid, or an attic full of forgotten things.
That's a mountain of work. They mentioned getting it broom clean. Imagine the time you save not having to do all that hauling and the final sweep up.
And like you said about selling a house, getting it properly cleared out makes it look way better to buyers. That can mean a faster sale or even a better offer.
So the cost of the cleanout could actually pay for itself in the sale price. Interesting angle.
Yeah. Then there are tougher situations like estate cleanouts or foreclosures. Often emotional, often on a deadline.
Having someone just handle the everything must go part efficiently within budget must be a huge relief.
And again, thinking about moving or downsizing, clearing out unwanted items before you move means less to pack, less to ship, less cost overall.
Let's talk garages. The classic black hole for stuff.
Yeah. Getting them to quickly remove old furniture, maybe broken lawn equipment, boxes of who knows what, it reclaims that space fast.
And maybe, just maybe, you can cancel that storage unit you've been renting because you can actually fit your car back in the garage. That's direct savings right there.
Good point. What about tricky items like old appliances, fridges, washers, dryers?
Heavy, awkward, and you can't just toss them in the regular trash. They handle the disconnection and removal safely.
And importantly, they mentioned responsible disposal and recycling. That saves you potential fines if you were to dump it incorrectly, and avoids you hurting yourself trying to wrestle a freezer out the door.
Same logic applies to old TVs, right? E-waste needs proper handling.
Exactly. Responsible recycling is key for electronics. They take care of that.
Even something seemingly simpler, like yard waste.
Well, think about it. After a big storm or a landscaping project, you could have piles of branches, leaves, clippings. Instead of you bagging it all, dragging it to the curb, maybe making multiple trips.
You just come and haul it away from wherever it is on your property.
Right. Convenience that saves you time and physical effort. Your weekend is yours again.
Okay, the really big one. Hot tubs.
Oh, yeah. Those are a nightmare to remove yourself. Disconnecting plumbing, electricity, breaking it down, hauling heavy pieces.
It sounds expensive and potentially dangerous to DIY.
Very. So having a professional service handle that whole complex process safely, that avoids a potentially very costly mistake or injury. Big savings potential there compared to trying it alone or hiring multiple specialized contractors.
Even smaller projects like home renovations, all the leftover bits.
Yeah, wood scraps, bits of drywall, packaging, they do debris removal. Keeps your workspace cleaner and safer.
Which might prevent delays or accidents, saving costs indirectly. And they mentioned light demolition too.
Taking down old fences, small sheds, decks. Could be more cost-effective than bringing in a big demolition crew for a smaller job like that.
Wow, okay, so it's quite a range. Furniture, property cleanouts, donation pickups, hoarding situations, electronics, mattresses. They seem to cover a lot of ground.
It really looks like it. And what seems to tie it all together is this focus on value, not just hauling, but saving you time, effort, and money in different ways.
They highlight being punctual, efficient, treating customers like neighbors.
Clear pricing, flexible scheduling.
And that text-to-picture quote thing really stands out for speed.
Yeah, the whole process sounds streamlined. They break it down to 3 steps. Text pictures to 253-820-6311. Get an upfront price range. Their team shows up on time and does the job.
Seems pretty straightforward.
It does. It's
Right.
simple and clear.
So wrapping this up, if you're in Puyallup or those other North Pierce County spots we listed, Rapid Haul Away seems like a really solid option for tackling clutter.
It's presented as more than just removal. It's positioned as a fast, easy, and importantly, cost-effective solution for homes and businesses.
By handling those difficult, time-sucking tasks, they're essentially giving you back your time, saving you physical strain.
And helping you dodge costs related to improper disposal, potential property damage from DIY attempts, or even just the hidden cost of living or working in a cluttered space.
So getting a free quote seems like the logical next step if this sounds useful to you. Texting pictures to 253-820-6311 sounds like the quickest way.
Or call, or use the online booking for that discount. It lets you see firsthand what the cost would be and how they might save you money and hassle.
Definitely worth checking out.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. What's the actual value of getting all that space back? You know, the peace of mind that comes when the clutter is just gone. Sometimes that feeling, that usability, facilitated by a service designed to save you hassle and expense, is worth more than you might initially think.